everybody. How are you all? I'm sure everybody is doing good. I'm also pretty good. Thank you. My dear students, we are going to start the chapter 7 of articulation, question forms. This would complete your unit A of articulation. Alright, so after this, we shall start with language functions. And wonderful chapter or wonderful unit which talks about different aspects of communication, and I'm sure you would enjoy the narrations of mine. Okay, let's finish question forms first. Okay, here we go. Dear students, the topics covered under this chapter are like this: framing confirmation questions in English, rearranging jumbled segments into yes or no questions, framing WH questions, very important, the last one but not the least, question tags. Very important, my dear students, that if you master question tags, your English will sharpen, your English will sound beautiful, your English will sound effective. Okay, and I had already finished confirmation questions for you, and I had already finished WH questions for you. However, we shall again do little brushing up, little revision kind of thing over here when I discuss these things turn by turn. Alright, so let's start with framing confirmation questions in English. Okay, let's begin with confirmation questions, dear students. Now, if you remember, in my previous recordings, in my previous videos, I had told you in detail about how to frame confirmation questions, or rather, what are confirmation questions? Confirmation questions are those which will have a yes or a no for an answer. Yes or no? Confirmation questions will give you an answer with an yes or a no. Simple. However, you need to ask a question which will give a confirmation yes or a confirmation no. That is what we are going to talk about today. Okay? Of course, few things you need to remember, which are, first and foremost, questions should end with a question mark, obviously. Right? Questions should end with a question mark. Second important thing, if you are asking a positive question, my dear students, you need to start with the positive question word. What are those positive, or rather, let us talk about question words in the first place. Do, does, can, could, am, are, was, were, have, haven't, did, didn't, will, won't. These are, and all the auxiliaries, all the models obviously will have the negative question or negative word on that and the positive word. Correct. So when you ask a question with the positive word to begin with, how will you frame a question? And what answer can you expect? Answer expected for a positive question is a positive answer. Yes. Answer expected for a negative question is a negative answer. No. Understood? These things you need to remember, dear students. Okay? If, as again I'll tell you, please remember this. If you do not have any helping verbs in a sentence, which helping verb should you use? You need to use forms of do. For positive questions, you need to use forms of positive do's. For example, do, does, did. For a negative question word, you need to use did, didn't, doesn't also. Got it? So basically, confirmation questions will give you an answer with a yes or a no. These are your few pointers which you need to remember, guys, when you change a statement into a question. Fair enough? Understood? First, we shall check as to how to frame a positive question. Alright? Let's understand the format once again. Just try to recollect, dear students, what was the format. Say, before I give you the format, let's do some more questions. Are you late today? Will you come to the college tomorrow? Are you sleeping? Is she writing her test? Did she finish her exams? Now, think on this. Did she finish her exams? Are you sleeping? Check for the format in the simple sentence. Are you sleeping? Okay. What is are? Are is your helping verb, positive helping verb. Correct? What is you? It's your pronoun. Sleeping with the verb ing in the ing format. Sleeping is a verb with an ing format. Are you sleeping with the question mark? Got it? This is one way of asking, one form of asking question. What's the other one? And the format of the other one, which I've mentioned here. Now, have you finished your homework? Have you finished your homework? What is have? Have is again your helping verb. You is your pronoun. Finished is your past participle. This is, as I said, another way of asking question. Guys, confirmation question. Have you finished? Past participle. The rest of the sentence followed by past participle. Have you finished your homework? Got it? So basically, a positive question format is there in front of you. This is positive helping verb plus noun or a pronoun plus past participle and rest of the sentence. Past participle purely depends on the kind of a statement you have in front of you. Not necessary that in every sentence you will have a past participle. In the example given there, the first one, she is a beautiful girl. How will you frame a question, positive question for this particular statement? Check out the format. Is she a beautiful girl? Do we have a past participle there? No, because there is nothing of that sort. We don't have that word as in that particular sentence, in that particular statement. So obviously you cannot include a new word in the question form. Got it? Check out the second one. Students are waiting in the queue. How will you convert it into a question, positive question? Are students waiting in the queue? What will be your answer? You will expect an yes for your question. That is why I have mentioned it as positive question, framing a positive question. She is a beautiful girl. Is she a beautiful girl? When somebody asks, most probably the answer will be yes. Okay, that's the reason even in your textbook, my dear students, if you go to page number 24, you will have that, and you check out the first main. What is that question? What is the first main all about? Write yes or no questions using the statements given below. Understood? I am going in detail about this in my future explanation. Don't worry. Like this, the third one. Some people won't agree with the rules. Won't is already there in the statement. So how will you frame a question for this particular statement? Will some people agree with the rules? Fourth, lone man. The lone man. What is the lone? What do you mean by the lone man? Lone man is a single, alone person who doesn't have anybody beside him. Okay, or to support him for that matter. The lone man had approached the king for justice. How will you change it to a question? See, had, you have as the helping verb, had should come first. Had the man, the noun, approached. Approached is your past participle. The rest of the sentence, the king for justice. Had the man approached the king for the justice? Question mark. Always understand this, my dear students. When you frame a question, when you ask a question for that matter, your tone should intonate high. You need to raise your the words so that it will sound as a question. Remember this. Put it in your heads, because it is a very, very necessary thing to remember and to follow. Because when you ask a question in the in the first place, please remember your voice should intonate. Okay, is she a beautiful girl? You cannot say that. Are students waiting in the queue? You cannot say that. You should as if ask wherein it should sound as a question, guys. Is she a beautiful girl? Are students waiting in the queue? Understood? So try to change the pattern, or rather the style of asking the questions as well. Alright, so got it? This is your framing a positive question. The next is framing a negative question. Not much difference in the format, dear students. Previously, we had a positive helping verb to begin with for a question. Now over here we need to have a negative helping verb. Okay, so she is a beautiful girl. For the same statement, you can frame a negative question as in, isn't she a beautiful girl? Students are waiting in the queue. Aren't the students waiting in the queue? Some people won't agree with the rules. Won't some people agree with the rules? The lone man had approached the king for justice. Hadn't the lone man approached the king for justice? My dear students, understand this. In the exam, if a question of this sort is asked, frame a positive and a negative question, or frame yes or no question for a particular statement. Please write both. Okay, positive question as well as a negative question. We shall do the exercises at the end. Alright, but remember this always. Just don't write one of the questions. Of course, you will get marks. I'm not talking about that. But when you know the concept, please do it. Please write it. Okay, so this is your framing a negative question, which is being explained even before this. So I'll not get in depth again on this topic. We shall go further. Alright. Okay. So dear students, the next very important thing is usage of forms of do. When you do not have any helping verbs in a sentence, you are supposed to use the different forms of do relevant to the statement over there. Okay, which is little confusing, of course, because most of the times the students get confused with the numbers, in the sense singular and plural, with the tenses, whether the statement is in positive or whether the statement is in present tense or past tense or future tense for that matter. Okay, over here I have explained and I have mentioned two different columns. I have explained separately the positive forms of do and negative forms of do. Alright, let's go in detail, little more detail over here. First, when are we supposed to use do in the question? How are we supposed to frame a do question? Now, for example, the example written there, the workers work day and night to complete the construction. The workers work day and night. I have not given any helping verb there, have I? I haven't. The workers, see, I have not mentioned the workers are working day and night. I have not even mentioned the workers did work. I didn't even mention the workers can work. I have not given any helping verb there. So what is the condition? What are we supposed to take care of now? You do not have any helping verb, so you need to use forms of do. First thing. Second thing, check the number in the sentence, whether I'm asking about or whether I'm saying about one particular person or more than one. Workers is in plural, so obviously first thing you need to remember is you are supposed to form a question which will have a plural form in that question. First thing. Second thing, check the tense in that sentence. Workers work. I have not mentioned worked. I have mentioned that work. So is it in present tense or past tense? Obviously it is in present tense. So two conditions are met, or you are aware of these two conditions. One is the tense. The first one you need to remember is to check whether the sentence begins with a singular noun or a plural noun. Second, check the tense in the sentence. Alright, so over here the workers are in plural and work is in present tense. So how will you frame a question? Rather, which form of do will you use? If you have something of that sort, if your statement begins with workers or plural form, use do. Use the word do. Okay? If at all it was the worker, then you should start the question with what form of do? With does. Understood? So in this particular statement, how will you convert this into a question? Do the workers work day and night to complete the construction? End the question with a question mark. Do not forget that, otherwise you will lose marks. You may ask, ma'am, why can't I put did? Why am I not supposed to put did here? Why? You tell me. Because the statement is in the present form. Right. If at all the statement would have been the workers worked day and night, I would have started the statement the question as did the workers. Got it, dear students? Always remember these two conditions are very important when you frame a question with the forms of do. Second one, does. As I said, check the number. Example, Rohit. We are not saying boys or Rohits. There is nothing called Rohits unless it is possession, possessives. Okay, belongings or belongingness of Rohit, or something which belongs to Rohit. I am not talking about Rohit apostrophe s either. I am just mentioning the proper noun Rohit, which is singular. Rohit dreams to achieve big in life. Rohit begins with check the tenses. First of all, Rohit singular. Dreams. Have I mentioned it as dreamt? No, right? Dreams is present tense. Dreamt is past tense. So, if you are supposed to mention the form of do here, which form of do would you include or would you begin with? Did or didn't or does or do or doesn't? Check the question there. Does Rohit dream to achieve big in life? Understood, dear students? Rohit dreams. Okay, just a recollection. If you remember, first person, second person, third person also includes the nouns, the names of people, when person, name, place or a thing, right? So third person, when you have a third person as the noun, you need to have a which form of do? Does. Okay, always remember. With the third person, you need to have third person as a pronoun, or as a beginning of the statement, you need to have does for singular. Positive. Doesn't for singular negative. Check the question. For this particular statement, Rohit dreams to achieve big in life. How will you frame a question? Does Rohit dream to achieve big in life? You cannot say does Rohit dreams. Again wrong. Change the verb there. Does Rohit dream to achieve big in life? Understood? Third example. When are we supposed to use did? Of course, did comes with the statement in a past tense form. So, Lalita left for US last week. I am not, or I haven't mentioned in the statement Lalita leaves. Did I? I haven't. I have mentioned over there Lalita left for US. Past tense of leave is left. Past tense of do is did. When you begin a question with did, you need to change the past tense verb into present tense verb. Left will change to leave. I have told this n number of times even to my students. I am telling it again to you all. No two past tenses could be put together in a sentence. In a question also, for that matter, you cannot say did Lalita left for US last week. Very, very wrong. Okay, dear students, please remember this. No two past tenses together. So left will change to leave. So did Lalita leave for US last week? Hope you got it. Next, negative forms of do. Which are those negative forms of do? Don't, doesn't, didn't. Right. So when are we using don't? When your statement starts with the plural term, plural word, plural noun. So, for example, the workers work day and night to complete the construction. The workers, negative forms of do over here should be, which is the negative form we are supposed to take care of over here, to include over here? Don't. Don't the workers work day and night to complete the construction? Because work is in the present tense, you cannot say didn't. Okay? If check the last third one, you will understand. Lalita left for US. As I said previously, Lalita left for US. So left is in the past tense. You have to use, if at all, you need to use did or didn't. Didn't Lalita leave for US last week? Doesn't, if you want to include. Rohit dreams to achieve big in life. Doesn't Rohit dream to achieve big in life? So all these comes under the big umbrella of forms of do when you frame a question, either positive question or a negative question. Fair enough? Hope you got it, everybody. So let's move ahead. Alright, the next thing which you need to know, of course, from the exam point of view as well, you will have 1 mark question on the rearrangement of jumbled segments. Remember, I told you this before also. Rearranging jumbled segments into yes or no questions. Again, so format you're very well aware of. I have just done couple of exercises, couple of examples here. Let's check it out. First example, made have inquiries you car for new A. Remember, just one thing you need to remember, which you cannot afford to forget. If a question statement is asked and you need to unscramble and arrange it in the proper order, you again have to end it with a question mark. Do not forget this, guys. Again, I'm saying, do not forget. End a question with a question mark. Even if it is in the jumbled segment form or otherwise. Okay, how will you unscramble this? Have you made inquiries for a new car? With a question. Have you made inquiries? I have told this already, explained this already. Hope you remember and hope you have understood. Second example. Do stay where you. Obviously, the sentence starts with a WH question. This question starts with a WH question. Where do you stay? Alright. In the previous example, the question starts with the confirmation question. So, have you made inquiries for a new car? These are your positive jumbled segments. Coming to the next one, the negative forms of jumbled segments. Children, any haven't sweet given we to. Haven't is there. So obviously you need to start your statement, your question with the negative word, which is haven't here. Haven't we given any sweets to children? With a question mark. Parties the meet seldom, the occasion for did. Did the party seldom meet for the occasion? Guys, remember this. There are few negative words. Seldom, no, never, neither. When you get these words in your statements, you cannot use didn't, haven't, wasn't. Because seldom is already a negative word. No is already a negative word. Never already a negative word. So over here, the question begins with did. Even though I have mentioned above negative helping verb. Why have I not used negative helping verb? Because you have a negative word in that sentence, seldom. Okay, so did the parties seldom meet for the occasion? Alright, this is your rearrangement of jumbled segments. Got it, everybody? Next is framing WH questions. Alright guys, so name WH words. Which are those WH words? They are which, why, where, when, how, what, by whom, etc. etc. Right. Now you know the format very well. I have taken one particular statement, and if you observe, I have underlined different phrases in these three different statements. Of course, the statement has remained the same, but the words underlined are different in each statement. Why have I done this? I'll tell you. From the exam point of view, dear students, you will be asked a question. Frame a WH question so as to get the underlined word as your answer. So I have taken the same one single statement, a similar statement for that matter, and I have underlined different phrases so that you will check out how a question will differ for each statements. How do we frame different questions relevant to these statements? Okay, the first statement for the first one, the judge ordered the jury to look into the matter. Which are the phrases which are being underlined? Which are the words which have been underlined? The judge. So, how will you frame a question so as to get this as your answer? Who ordered the judge to look into the matter? Obviously, your answer would be the judge. Who ordered the jury to look into the matter? So, answer is the judge. Got it? Second one, the judge ordered the jury to look into the matter. Underlined words are the jury. So you need to frame a question so as to get this particular word as your answer. Frame a question, relevant question for that. Whom did the judge order to look into the matter? Whom did the judge order to look into the matter? The judge ordered the jury to look into the matter. Understood? Third one. The judge ordered the jury to look into the matter with, which is the underlined phrase here, into the matter. Now frame a question so as to get this as your answer. What did the judge order to the jury? What did the judge order to the jury? Answer is, the judge ordered the jury to look into the matter. Understood? So remember this. First, in a particular statement, whichever statement which has been given to you, check the underlined words. Now think, what could be, how would I start the question? Which WH word will be more relevant to get that relevant answer? Pretty easy. We shall do the exercises later on this. Understood, everybody? Last but not the least, we have question tags. Alright, guys, question tags are nothing but short questions. It can also be used to get a confirmation for an action of a person or an event. Now, when you include a question tag in your statement, generally you will expect a yes. You will expect that the listener will agree with your statement or with your opinion, whatever. Okay? And again, it's easy. However, few pointers which you need to remember, rules which you need to remember. What are those rules? First and foremost, there are two ways of, again, positives and negatives, two kinds of question tags for that matter. Use positive question tag with a negative statement. Remember, very important. Use positive question tag with a negative statement. Use negative question tag with a positive statement. Tenses, again, tenses will not change. Okay, tenses will remain the same. Again, if you do not have any helping verb, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to use? We are supposed to use forms of do. Yes? Now, if you have a negative word, remember I have told this previously. If you have a negative word, no, never, don't, etc., seldom, etc., do not use a negative question tag. Use a positive question tag because the statement is already negative. Alright, next, pronouns you cannot change. If the statement has begun with a particular pronoun, even your question tag will have the same pronoun. We shall do the examples, no doubt, don't worry about it. Okay, I'll explain you in detail when we talk about when I tell you about the examples. Alright, so question tags, guys, will actually beautify your sentences. Will actually, the listener will understand, oh yes, wonderful, this person knows some English. You try this, dear students. You include relevant question tags with your statements. Check the difference in the attitude of people with whom you interact. Try this. Alright. Now let's do some examples, and I'm going to explain with the relevant examples the rules of question tags as well in a more detailed manner. Alright. So let's go for the examples of question tags. I have taken a couple of examples here, and I have told you before that with a positive statement you will have a negative question tag. Negative statement will have a positive question tag. Yes? So let's begin. First one. It is raining heavily. Check the beginning of the statement. It is a pronoun. Is in the present tense. Helping verbs in the present tense. So negative of is isn't. Right? So positive statement, negative question tag. Is will change to isn't. It is a pronoun which will remain the same. Again, when this kind of question is asked in your exam, do not just write the answer, That is, do not just write the question tag. You need to rewrite the statement completely. Put a question mark. Write the question tag with the question mark. Underline the answer. Alright. Do not just write isn't it, don't I, am I, can't I, can I. No. Complete sentence is required, my dear students. No problem, you repeat this question, put a comma and write the relevant question tag with the question mark. Very simple. It isn't raining heavily. It isn't raining heavily. Isn't is a negative term, negative word, negative statement, positive question tag. So negative of isn't is it. Got it? I am not called for today's meeting. I am not called. So I am not called. I am not will change to am I. I am not called for today's meeting. Am I? Confirmation. I am called for today's meeting. Positive statement, negative question tag, aren't I? You might ask this question, ma'am, why aren't I? Why can't I put am I not? No guys, it's wrong. You are if your sentence has I am something of this sort, I am not called, I am not done, I am yet to finish, something of that sort. I am called for today's meeting over here. The question tag will be aren't I? Okay, not am I not? Wrong. She recognized me. Did she? Remember, no helping verb, so forms of do. Recognized is in the past tense, so past tense of do is did. Positive statement, negative question tag, so negative of did is didn't. She is the pronoun which you need to retain, so she recognized me, comma, didn't she? She didn't recognize me. Did she? Didn't. Obviously, didn't is there. Positive question tag, which is did she. Vehicles pollute the environment. Vehicles, plural form. Again, no helping verb. So, pollute is in the present tense. A present tense form of do is, of course, don't. Because it is vehicles, it is not a vehicle. You're supposed to use don't, but not doesn't. So vehicles pollute the environment, don't they? Vehicles don't pollute the city, do they? Again, understand, don't will change to do. Positive statement, negative question tag, negative statement, positive question tag. Very easy, right? She was your student. Very easy again. You have was, negative of was is wasn't. Wasn't she? She wasn't your student. Wasn't is in the statement, which is negative. Positive of wasn't is was. Was she with a question mark. Very easy, dear students. But only thing you please remember, these two conditions are very, very important. Otherwise, you will lose that 1 mark. And I told you the relevance of 1 mark in my first or earlier videos. So do your best. Don't even let go that 1 mark which you deserve, guys. And you know the answer. Why to lose the marks if you know the answer, right? So do your best. Alright, so let's go further now. So, dear students, the explanation part is over. Now, we shall do some textbook exercises. Of course, I have not taken all the questions over here. I have only picked few which may create confusion to you. Okay. However, yes, I will upload the answers of the textbook exercises in my description. You can definitely go there and get the answers for all the questions of the textbook exercises. Okay, but now for this moment, let's do a couple of questions. So try to do some exercises, some textbook exercises now. All right, let's begin. Write yes or no questions using the statements given below. The first one, the whites have made us slaves. For an yes question, how will you frame? Have whites made us slaves? For the positive question, you will have a have. For a negative no question, haven't whites made us slaves? Got it? Next, the restaurant keeper had asked him to take off his shirt. For a yes question, had the restaurant keeper asked him to take off his shirt? Negative question, hadn't the restaurant keeper asked him to take off his shirt? Remember, no two past tenses together. So you have had, you need to change the verb ask. Asked to ask. Okay. Third one, my mother reads Prajavani every day. Yes question would be, does your mother read Prajavani every day? Doesn't your mother read Prajavani every day? Some delegates won't attend the seminar. Will some delegates attend the seminar? Or will some delegates not attend the seminar? Won't some delegates not attend the seminar? Alright, so these are few answers which I have done here. The rest, as I said earlier, will be in the description. Okay, check that out later. Okay, next we shall go further. Rearrange the jumbled segments into yes or no questions. You write did a letter the principal to. Check the helping verb did. So begin your question with did. Did you write a letter to the principal? The slaves' seldom birthday had known there. Check the helping verb had, you have there. So had the slaves seldom known their birthday. Remember this negative words, right? Third one, there make Lucia's brother's payment due. Helping verb do. So begin this question with do. Do Lucia's brothers make their payment? Glaring was Nicola at his younger brother. Which is that helping verb? Was. So, was Nicola glaring at his younger brother? Alright, so pretty simple rearrangement of the jumbled segments. Alright, dear students, framing WH questions so as to get the underlined word or words as answer. That is your third main. Man has failed to understand the nature and her ways. The words underlined are the nature and her ways. How will you frame a question so as to get these words as your answer? What has man failed to understand? What has he failed to understand? He has failed to understand the nature and her ways. The elephant put his trunk inside the hut slowly. Underlined word is slowly. So frame a question so that you can get this word as your answer. How did the elephant put his trunk inside the hut? Guys, remember, and I'm sure you know, there are no words like putted, sitted, cutted. Please remember this. Even over here, how did the elephant put his trunk inside the hut? Next. The people around him looked like hungry wolves. Underlined words are like hungry wolves. How will you frame the question? How did the people look? How did the people around look like? How did the people around him look like? They looked like hungry wolves. Udyan Express leaves Bangalore at 8 p.m. for Mumbai. Now, at 8 p.m. time. So, at what time does Udyan Express leave Bangalore for Mumbai? Yes, got it everybody? These are your third main, which in the textbook as well, framing WH questions so as to get underlined word as your answer. Let's go ahead. Guys, I've skipped fourth main because again it talks about your WH questions. So let's do the question tags. Okay, supply suitable question tags to the following statements. Mother was everything for us. So what is the question tag for that? Mother, feminine, so pronoun is she. Was is in the past tense, so negative of past negative of was is wasn't. So the question tag is wasn't she. She made her lap our bed. So made, there is no helping verb, so forms of do. Made is in the past tense. Did, negative of did is didn't. She is the pronoun, so didn't she. Our hunger had led her to skip her meals. Our hunger, the pronoun used over here is it. Had, negative of had is hadn't it. They don't have any love for their old mother. Very easy, you already have don't in that statement, so positive of don't is do. So do they. Next, they can seldom feel for their mother. As I said earlier, seldom, a negative word in the statement already, so question tag will be positive. So can will remain can they. Alright guys, these are your question tag exercise. Now we have finished the explanation of question forms. I've also tried to explain the tricky forms of question forms, okay, wherein you might get confused with. Okay, all right, let's try and recollect whatever we have learned today. Okay, sit back, think, and any doubts, my dear students, you're most welcome to ask me in the comment section. All right, okay, so dear students, a big thank you to everybody. I'm sure you have understood whatever I have taught you today. So do not forget to like, comment and share. Also, please hit the bell icon so that whenever my new video is uploaded, you will get notified of the same. Alright, so take care everybody. Love you all. Be safe at home and study well. Right? Happy learning, dear students. Bye bye. See you.